Hi and welcome to MyMarketology. I'm Tony and I'm the Head Marketologist. Today's post aims to answer two ongoing questions that we're getting, which covers every digital marketing discipline and marketing strategy used by every business in all industries and niches. Why do we need to create goals and objectives? And how do we do that efficiently? Now, we're not going to hang around today. You've got objectives to create for everything that you're doing. So let's get started. So question one, why do you need to create goals and objectives? It is a common question, and marketing teams usually have targets to work towards. It's not very often, though, that they're more involved than maybe get more leads, get more sales, or maybe get more followers on Facebook or Twitter. We all know that the ultimate goal for both marketing and sales teams' jobs is to bring more money into the business, either through new customer acquisition or through nurturing customers to retain them and increase additional or repeat sales. These are a given, and they are the world that we work in. The reason why goals and objectives are important is because we need to break down that overall aim of the business, i.e. make more money, into more meaningful objectives for every piece of work that we do. So if you think about it for a moment, the overall business needs to make more money. But how do you do that using email marketing, for example? So you need to increase the relevancy of your email marketing by targeting specific segments of your audience, and by then looking to increase the deliverability, open rates, click-through rates, and return on investment of your email marketing campaigns, one email campaign at a time. Using the word increase on its own isn't enough though. You need to give yourself a target and a deadline for each of these campaigns. You need to have some structure to your approach and something measurable so that you know whether you've succeeded or not. So for argument's sake, do you want 100% delivery within 30 minutes of sending your email campaign with 100% open and click-through rates? It's not going to happen, well, as a general rule anyway. Goals and objectives are important in keeping you focused, disciplined and motivated. And with well-structured goals, you know exactly where you are, where you need to get to, and how you're going to get there. So moving on to question 2. How do you create goals and objectives efficiently? So another good question. As we've already discussed, it's absolutely vital to create goals and objectives for every marketing discipline and every piece of work or strategy that you're creating. If you can create measurable goals that actually mean something to your overall business goals, then you can start to learn from your successes and your failures by measuring your achievements at specified deadlines, and then look to use the insights gleaned in future work. So data gained from your marketing activity is the only way that you can see what's working and what isn't in an effort to test, optimize and improve your marketing going forward. The quickest and most efficient way to create these structured goals and objectives is to use the SMART mnemonic. Now you might have come across it before, but if you haven't, here's a quick explanation. It enables you to create those structured and measurable goals and objectives. So the S, first of all, stands for specific. So to find out the specific goal and objective you want to work towards, you need to answer 5 questions. So the first question is what? What are you looking to accomplish? The second is why. Why do you want to accomplish this? So what are the reasons, the purpose or the benefits of actually succeeding? The third question is who. So who's involved with this goal? Who's your target segment? Who are you targeting and who are you marketing to? The next is where. So where will this goal take place and where can you achieve it? And then which? Which requirements and constraints will you have to adhere to? So those 5 questions, what, why, who, where and which, will give you a very specific goal or objective. We then move on to the M, measurable. So how will you know if you're making progress towards your actual goal? How much of your goals complete? How will you know when you've succeeded? So you need to include some measurables in there. As I've already mentioned, that could be things like open rates, it could be click-through rates, it could be return on investment, it could be sales value, anything like that, but you need something measurable as part of these objectives and goals. Now in the middle we've got attainable or achievable, and this is at the centre for a very, very good reason. Your goals and objectives need to be attainable and realistic. You need to challenge yourself, but not with goals that are so far out of reach that you can't possibly achieve them. Actually, the mindset that you have around goals and objectives is the linchpin on whether you're going to achieve them or not. If somebody gives you a target and it's so far out of reach, you've got no chance of ever achieving it, you're not going to put the effort in to achieve those goals and objectives, full stop. However, if you've got a target there or a goal or objective that's been set up and it's just a little bit of a challenge to get there, you will put the effort in and stretch yourself to reach it. And that's why it's in the centre, because it's very, very important to ensure that you're also including some mindset and that these SMART goals and objectives are achievable for you and your teams. So we then move on to relevant. Your goals and objectives obviously need to be relevant to your main purpose. If your goals have nothing to do with your purpose in your business, then what's the point in working towards them in the first place? So again, they need to be relevant. A second R there, I suppose you could also say realistic, which would again tie into the attainable previously. We then end with time bound. Now again, this one's at the end for the very reason that you need to have a finishing line. If you work all your goals and objectives towards specific deadlines, you'll know where you are at any given point in time. You'll also be able to identify what still needs to be done and in how long you've got left to do it. This acts as a key focus point, so all your efforts can be directed to completion on or before the due date. It instills a sense of urgency as it nears a deadline, and it forces more focus upon that particular goal as well. So the SMART approach is a quick and easy way to create your goals and objectives. It can be used to create business-wide goals, as well as goals for email campaigns or social media updates. As I mentioned a couple of times already, you should have goals for everything that you're doing. So here's an example to show you how easy it is to use this approach. So we've got a high street ladies fashion retailer who wants to increase the summer range sales by £100,000. After analysing the customer data, it's been identified that email campaigns to existing customers are providing the greatest return on investment. So after using the SMART approach, they created these goals and objectives. In our next promotional email marketing campaign, we'll target existing customers aged 25 to 35. So very, very specific niche audience that they're targeting there, a targeted segment. They'll increase their open rate by 5% by split testing subject lines and the from addresses. So again, it's a measurable figure, is very, very specific on how they're going to achieve that. Using new call to actions and including dynamic content in the email based on the contact's previous purchases, we'll also look to increase click-through rates by 2%, which will translate into increased conversions, totaling £110,000. So again, they've got very specific measurements, very specific ways that they're going to achieve those, and then they've got that target at the end for the outcome as well, which is above the 100,000 target they were looking for. And they will measure those results after 10 days after sending the email, as they've identified that due to their buying life cycle from email, that's when their contact data is likely to have responded for them to have a deadline. So after 10 days, they're going to measure all these. So did they increase the open rate by 5%? Did they increase the click-through rate by 2%? If they did do that to that specific audience, the existing customers aged 25 to 35, they should have increased the conversions by at least £110,000 as per the target there. So as you can see, this encompasses all of the SMART details required. So the retailer can measure the specific information at that 10-day deadline to see whether they've achieved their objectives or not. If they haven't achieved, then they can look at which part or parts of the objective they didn't meet and learn from it for next time. So that's why goals and objectives are important for your marketing work, not just the large campaigns and strategies though. As I mentioned, you should create them for literally everything that you do, from top level business marketing goals right down to individual maybe Facebook statuses and tweets that you're sending out on Twitter. So create them for everything that you do and you'll see the quality of your work improving in no time. So that's today's post. So I look forward to receiving some more questions from you. If you want to ask a question, leave a comment below, comment on our social media channels, or email us at hello@mymarketology.com. So thanks a lot for joining me again today. I'll see you again soon.